this week's newscast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Leslie.
The senior panoramic is on April 23rd during SRT in the gym. All seniors must report to the SRT for attendance first and will then be called to the gym. Professional attire is required. Men are encouraged to wear shirts and a tie, and ladies must have their shoulders covered or wear a sweater or jacket over a sleeveless dress.
There will be a blue mass on April 25th to honor all those employed in the public safety field. Parents or relatives that are police officers, firefighters, correctional officers, 911 operators, and EMS personnel are invited to attend the mass in uniform.
Put your socks on for Bishop Noel. Bishop Noel will be hosting a fundraiser at White Sox game on August 1st as the Sox take on Kansas City Royals. On this special night, all current Bishop Noel families and alumni can buy White Sox tickets in a special reserved Bishop Noel section at Guaranteed Rate Field, and a portion of every ticket sold will go to Bishop Noel.
Tickets are $25 each before June 1st. After June 1st, tickets are $30 each. If you would like to ride on the bus to the game, it will be an additional $10.
This week's club spotlight of the week is Drama Club. The BNI Theater Department is putting on West Side Story beginning tonight. Check out the previews of this beloved musical.
I feel dizzy, I feel sunny, I feel fizzy, it's funny, it's fun.
It's only just out of reach, down the block on a beach. Maybe tonight, maybe tonight. I am sick, we are sick, we are sick, we are sick, sick, sick. Like we're sociologically sick.
I'm here with Spencer Spudik, who is playing Tony, and Maria Molero, who is playing Maria. So, West Side Story is familiar to many Bishop Noel students because they read Romeo and Juliet. What do you think the audience will find especially interesting about this play?
What's really interesting is that it's not like your typical love story, and it's really modern. So like Romeo and Juliet, it's real classical. It takes place years and years and years ago. But West Side Story, it's easier to relate to because it's so modernized. It takes place in the 60s, which is still a long time ago, but it's still easy to relate to because a lot of the stuff that happens today.
Like Maria said, it's like something that we can all relate to. But you know how all the students read Romeo and Juliet. It's something that all the students at BNI will be familiar with, and they would actually like to see the show. And it's something that we haven't done in a long time, and it'd be something really nice to see.
What is your favorite scene to be in?
My favorite scene is when the whole cast is together and they're about to go to the Rumble. It's my favorite scene because you have one gang on the other side and then the other gang on the other, and they're both singing about how they're gonna like fight each other, and then me and Spencer come up and we're singing this completely different part and we're just oblivious to everybody else. Like that's one of like the biggest songs in the show. It's one of my favorite parts.
I probably like the scene after that. I like the Rumble because it's really it's full of energy, and energy is really key in the whole entire show. And it's like a bunch of different emotions going on. It's like both gangs want to fight. I'm just like, no. And I'm like, it's weird, and it's kind of cool though too. And it's really full of energy, and I like it a lot.
How do you identify with your character?
Like me and Maria, we're both really not like the same people, but we're pretty identical in like the sense that we're both really like reserved people. We're both like seen as very quiet and that we can't do anything that's like out there. But in reality, like she's really like a bold character like when she wants to be. But like there are also some things that like she does that I would never do, like love somebody in like a day. Like I could never do that.
Well, Tony's quiet too. I kind of relate to that, but I'm not overly quiet like Maria is and how Maria is. But I can definitely like be that kind of person. I can be very quiet, and I can also be very reserved in my personality. He's also very lighthearted, which is what I am too, and I kind of relate to him too.
What do you think was the hardest thing about being in this play?
One of the hardest things is like Spencer, he's one of my good friends, and it's really hard to like act like you're like so in love with this person, like you're destined to be with that person. Like it's really hard to just like pull out of you in such a short amount of time. Like, that's one of the hardest things.
Yeah, one of the hardest things is acting like you are in love with the person that you're acting with, because we're such good friends, but it's not so weird to the point where it's uncomfortable, because we're still good friends at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it's completely fine afterwards.
We laugh at it.
Yeah, we laugh at it a lot.
Lastly, why should Bishop Noel students come out to see this play?
Like it's one of the biggest shows we have ever put on, and like everybody put so much into it, the cast, the crew, everybody. And like the last time we put on West Side Story, it was in the 60s when it first came out. So like it took us 4 months of rehearsals. Like that's how long, like how much energy and time we put into the show, and like we're all so proud of it. So like you gotta see the show.
Everyone that put effort into the show put 110% into it. And it's one of the most unique shows that Noel has ever done. And it'd be really good for everyone to see at least once, maybe twice.
So come out and watch the show. Thank you.
Sunday at 2 p.m. It will also be running next weekend at the same times. The show runs approximately 2 hours and 30 minutes, including 15-minute intermission. Tickets can be bought at the door in the lobby. General admission is $7 with $5 discount tickets for children, students, and senior citizens.
That's it for your announcements. Here is Nae and Brian with sports.
Hello, I'm Naye.
And I'm Brian. On Tuesday, April 17th, varsity baseball took a trip over to River Forest to take a W. The boys beat the Ignots 11-3.
Also on Tuesday, the varsity girls tennis fell to Calumet New Tech 3-2. However, the girls softball team beat River Forest 13-3. The Ignots just seem to get it together. Like, what they doing?
The track team will compete this Saturday if the weather cooperates at Hanover Central High.
The varsity golf team demolished North Newton in Wheeler, putting them first in the tournament. Junior Nick Wiklinski led the Warriors with the top score of 42. The Warriors are now 4-0 in the Greater South Shore Conference. Good job, golfers.
And
This concludes this week's Sports Update.